Anthony Joshua warns that he could stop Joe Joyce in one round. Well, once again, something's gotten into this kid. Let's talk.
Push the weight and now flex. Flex alive is more than the six. With the runner boy, you nigga, no question. You will run a motherfucker high stepping. Hey, you never had a big enough weapon. Motherfucker never learned your lesson. I'm a 88 pack nigga. I'm a 88 pack nigga. I mean, day walker, drink blood, fangs out, full moon, motherfucker change like a hoe. Nigga. I'm just a nigga from the hood trying to stack a little cheddar for the money.
Drew Titan Bronx on deck. Shout out to the mighty LDBC. But let's not waste any time. Boxing scene. Anthony Joshua warns that he would stop Joe Joyce in one round. Former two-division world champion Anthony Joshua sent a firm warning regarding a potential fight with fellow Olympian Joe Joyce. Joshua suffered a career setback when he was outboxed over 12 rounds last September in his showdown with Alexander Usyk. The British star was hoping to reclaim his titles by facing Usyk in a contracted rematch, but the scenario is now on hold, with Usyk returning to his homeland in the Ukraine to assist with the military resistance against the ongoing attack by Russia. Frank Warren, promoter of Joyce, would love to get his boxer a fight with AJ. I think the public would definitely buy into AJ, Joe Joyce. We'd make that in a heartbeat. Joe would fight him in a heartbeat. What a great domestic bust-up that is. Let's get our heads together and we'll get it done, Warren told IFL TV. Joyce was in action in July last year when he stopped world challenger Carlos Takam in 6 rounds at Wembley. Warren believes that Joyce and AJ would clash. That clash would be a tremendous box office hit among domestic fans. Joyce and AJ are very familiar with each other from their days in the amateur ranks with Team GB. Joshua took to social media to respond to Warren's take on Joyce, and he also responded to promoter Dimitri Salita, who's been in a strong house. Salute to him. Who recently stated that his heavyweight Otto Wallin was capable of beating the British star. According to AJ, he stopped Joyce in a single round when they sparred in the past. And he believes that he would stop him in one round right now. Laugh out loudly, okay. I've shared this ring with most people you see in the heavyweight division today. I boxed Otto Wallin twice as youngsters, and I boxed Joe and stopped him in one round. I do the same thing today. Ain't nothing changed, Joshua stated. Well, that is the article. Link will be in the description. And here's my opinion. AJ, a lot has changed. A lot has changed, AJ. First and foremost. And this is no hate. I know a lot of people are saying, oh, yeah, let's listen to Drew Titan hate on AJ. No, I'm just going to hit you with something to think about. You can believe what you want to believe, but I'm going to give you something to think about. First and foremost, I also watched Dillian White beat on you in the amateurs. The video's on YouTube somewhere if it's still up. And I pick you to beat him 6 days out of a 7-day week. That one day that he might beat you, he'll get lucky. Especially now, since you're more chinny than you were when we first got a look at you here in the States. I believe that now you're easier to get taken out. I believe it was after the Andy Ruiz fight, but I was talking to the sensei, Stormy B-Man, salute to Stormy. He said, you know what? It's deeper than that. We've been hearing about him getting starched in sparring. And I said, oh, yeah, you know what? That's right. So there's really something going on with you, AJ. What we do know about Joe Joyce is that he has a hell of a chin. Now, has he been hit by a big puncher? I don't know. But as it stands right now, the man has a chin. The man has a chin. They call him the Juggernaut. You don't share that same chin. Now, maybe he hasn't been hit by a big puncher like yourself, because, you know, AJ, you do got some cracks. But it's not impressive like a Deontay Wilder. And by the way, I know that you've said his name, and that's all I'm going to mention of this in reference to you and him. You could have had that fight. You could have had that fight. You are going down in history as an A side that clearly did not make the fight. You tried to freeze him out, and it backfired. Okay? So it's one big pump fake for you. So that's why they're talking about a domestic fight between you and Joyce. Okay? Because if you go to Deontay with this nonsense again, it's going to be a 50-50 split, probably a 60-40 in his direction. And you're going to have to come to the States because he's not going to the UK. And you'll get knocked out in that fight too. So I'm not even going to think about that. Y'all already know, if y'all watch me, I hope Deontay doesn't come back. These boxing casuals don't even deserve his presence. He was underpromised, he overachieved, and he's sitting on a pile of money. He don't need to fight again. And the boxing public doesn't deserve him because they didn't appreciate him while he was here. But this ain't about Deontay. This is about AJ. See, Usyk is not fighting now, so he has to stay busy. So you say you'll knock Joe Joyce out in one round? I don't believe you. Can you outbox him? Probably. But what happens when you get walked down? This ain't Andy Ruiz. The guy could look you in the eye and he could move forward. And I must say, I picked Daniel Dubois to beat him. And he stopped Daniel. Time indicates speed. Daniel was clearly the faster, more athletic. Well, I'm not going to say more athletic. I'm saying the faster, more polished boxer. But he couldn't get out of the way of a jab. AJ can't get out of the way of a straight right hand down the pike, which is why he was all wrong for, Deontay Wilder's all wrong for him. Now, as slow as and robotic as Joe Joyce is, I have reasonable cause to believe that his timing is really, really good. I think Joe Joyce, because they're about the same size, this is a nightmare for AJ. And this ain't the amateur's AJ. And your chin has gotten progressively worse, AJ. And this is no hate. I'm going off of what I've seen. Between the sparring battles and all these rumors about you getting stopped in sparring and Usyk hurt you. Usyk hurt you. I didn't see that coming at all. I thought he would outbox you. You'd be chasing him all night and he would cruise to a victory. But he hurt you, man. You was almost done. So now you're talking about Joe Joyce, who will walk through 3 of yours and land 1, and then what you going to do when he lands? Get on your bike? You're not good on a back foot. You're too big for that. See, you guys tried to sell AJ off as the next Lennox Lewis. That is the illest fail I've ever seen. And I'm just keeping it honest. This kid is okay, but he's not great. Okay? So, of course, you're going to call Deontay Wilder's name. How else is Eddie going to get a huge return on his investment? But D ain't worried about you. You blew that. If he wants to come out of retirement or semi-retirement, I hope he hasn't even announced anything yet. I don't know if he ever will. But if he does and he decides to fight you, man, great. It's not going to work out for you. You might want to stop calling his name. But if you get in the ring with Joe Joyce, I'm telling you straight up and down, I'm picking Joe Joyce to stop you. I'm picking Joe Joyce to stop you. I am picking Joe Joyce to stop you. I did a live stream earlier today. Your best bet is to dig up Big Baby Miller and try and come to the Barclays and get it right. That was a fight that was supposed to happen. He popped dirty, and that was the end of that. He blew a $9 million payday, if I remember correctly. Dig him up. He hasn't fought since 2018. Catch him cold. Give him about a month or 2 to get into camp, because hopefully for you it'll be a fat camp. And he'll be drug-free and he'll have no stamina, and maybe you can get him out of there. Maybe. I also mentioned Jared Big Baby Anderson. That's another death sentence for you. So really, there's nowhere to go, AJ. Well, time reveals all truth. But you want to go ahead and pick on Joyce? Good. Because I don't think that's going to work out for you either. Domestic rivalry? Fine. But if you got faith in AJ's chin, cool. I don't. But this is boxing. So let's see what happens. But I don't believe him. Bronx on deck. Move!